Hello everybody and welcome to the video. Right, we're gonna go for it. I'm gonna do the full Leviathan expedition in this video. I'm gonna show you the fastest way to do it, the easiest way to do it that I've found anyway. Remembering that this is a community mission, guys, so we're gonna be leaning on the community on it to make sure we can get through it. So here we go. These are all the milestones that we're gonna have to be hitting. Here's phase 1, starting off with remembrance, moving on to phase 2. Each phase is going to have 7 badges by the looks of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's going to be one of the 7th one is an optional one, and we'll get around to that in a bit. But there you can see we'll unlock all 5 phases, and we're going to have finished Leviathan, and we're going to get that awesome frigate that you get. But the order that we're going to do it in is not the phase order. So the first thing you're going to have to do before you do anything else is die. So we chuck ourselves off this cliff. And here we go. And there you go. As you can see, when you die, it takes you back to that reload screen. And then you just bring yourself back into the iteration. But you want to get that out of the way first, because everything that you do will be lost if you die. So from here on out, we do not want to die. So here we go, it loads it up again, and that will ping the first badge for us. Iterate, repeat. And there we go, that's the first one that we need to do. So we can unlock that one. There is another one that we can ping straight away, and that is to do with the memory shards that we're going to be collecting all the way through it. So here we go, unlock that one. Now you're going to collect them all the way through the game. They're going to be at B because the community's been unlocking things, and that's the point of this. The more we all help each other out, the easier this gets for everyone, the better the parts get and everything. So here we go, we can ping the first 2 badges. So we've got remembrance, and that's going to unlock some more shards for us and some other bits and bobs. And then we can unlock the iterate, repeat. And that's going to give us our hermetic seal, which is the one that we're going to need to unlock for the starship so we can take off from the planet and get cracking. So like I say, very important one to get out of the way first, because you're not going to be able to do anything until you've taken off with your spaceship. So here we go, we'll just quickly explain how this works. So what you do is you collect these throughout the expedition, and then you attach them to your multi-tool or your starship or your exosuit, depending on what they are. And they're going to like help you out, make it easier for you to get along, give you better weapons, give you better hyperdrives and things like that on your starship, give you better jetpacks and things like that. So first things off the bat, what we're going to do is we're just going to collect some carbon together, and we're just going to do a bit of scanning, because we want really to be collecting so that we can get a carbon nanotube and we can get some creature pellets. Once we've got the creature pellets, we can then go over and find one of these striders that's on the first planet, and we want to throw a creature pellet out at it. Try not to get too close, because they are quite nasty when they get going. But we're going to tame one. So once we've come up to it, we're going to own it as a companion, and that's going to get atonement out of the way, which is a badge that's later on in phase 3 or 4, I think. So now that one's done, we can crack on with everything else. Like I say, while we're running about, we want to be collecting carbon, we want to be collecting ferrite dust, and we want to be collecting dihydrogen, as well as any sodium that you might come across, because we're going to need it as base components for building other things later. But one of the perks of picking up this companion straight away is that he can actually cross the terrain a lot easier than you can, and a lot faster. So you don't have to worry too much about falling off stuff and everything. So here we go. We've made it to our ship, and it is damaged, so we're going to have to repair it. Now we've been collecting materials along the way. It only took us about 5 or 10 minutes to get here. As you can see, I was quite lucky. I got an upgrade for my mining laser straight away, so I was able to mine pure ferrite. If you can't mine it, don't worry too much, you can always refine some in your portable refiner that you've been given. So we'll just get this little bit of the ship out of the way. I'm not going to go into the story in this, because I don't want to ruin it for anyone who wants to play it. We're just interested in how to progress through it and how to get everything. So we'll unlock this one, which is a new beginnings, and that's for reaching our ship. So that's going to give us some few bits and bobs. We'll get some ion batteries. We'll get get some Starship launch fuel, and we'll also get some first aid boxes. We'll unlock on Atonement while we're here as well. That'll give us some ancestral memories. We'll bang them in our Starship because they're going to come in quite handy later on. We're going to need some of those, so it'll be good to keep those in the Starship out of the way. So we'll just see what we've been given for now, and we'll just sort our technologies out and everything like that. So we've got a jetpack upgrade, that's good. That's going to help us get about a bit more. We'll move the hazard protection over here as well, give ourselves some more space. At the moment we're not going to have much room in our general inventory. You will get rewards later on for completing different parts of the phases that are going to unlock these slots. So don't worry too much about going through your space stations like other expeditions and picking up the exosuit upgrades. You can if you want to, but if you don't want to and you just want to crack on with it a bit faster, you are going to get some upgrades for your general inventory on your exosuit later on. So don't worry too much about it. Right, so there we go. So we need to fix our Starship. So we're going to need some dihydrogen. So we'll bang that in the launch thrusters. We've already done the pure ferrite because we'd picked some up. So that's that done. We need to make a metal plating, and we use the ferrite dust that we've picked up. Pop that in there, and we're going to need a hermetic seal. Now hermetic seals are made of condensed carbon. So if we just jump out and we get out our portable refiner, we can load this up with some carbon. We'll pop some in there, and then we can load it up with some carbon again to fuel it, and then we'll set that off, and that's going to give us our condensed carbon, which is going to make our hermetic seal. You can use this refiner as well to make pure ferrite out of ferrite if you want to, if you didn't pick any up along the way. It also comes in handy later on when you're going to need to make some chromatic metal out of copper. So we'll put that away in a minute when we've sorted our inventory out, but for now we want to make our hermetic seal. So here we go, bang that in there, and then that's fixed. Our ship's completely fixed, it's ready to take off. We're not going to take off yet though. What we're going to do is we are going to find these, look, natural burial sites. We're going to grab 2 or 3 of these because they're going to give us like ancient bones and relics and stuff that we can sell in the space station, and that's going to massively bump up the amount of money that we've got straight away, because one of the things that we have to do later on for one of the phases is we have to pass so many units sold and stuff. So this is a really good way of getting on with it straight away. So use your strider again to cross the planet really quickly and avoid having to worry about falling off things. Remember, we are in permadeath, so we're a little softer than normal. So if we make a carbon nanotube and if we make a dihydrogen jelly, we can fix our terrain manipulator. Now terrain manipulator is going to let us drill holes in the ground, and then we're going to be able to pick up these natural burial sites, look. So if we drill a hole in the ground here, we'll just go in here, look, and we're going to pick up some ancient bones, and that's going to give us imperfect partial skeleton. Now you can get these ones, you can also get partial skeletons, and then you can also get gold ones that are like worth millions and that. So if you pick one of those up straight away, a gold one, you're on it, you can crack on. One of the other things we're going to do while we're on this planet, just before we leave it, is we're going to grab some copper, because we're going to need some chromatic metal later on as well. And you probably can pick this up from the space station or two as you're bobbing along, but I like to do it in this order because I just think to myself it saves having to backtrack on yourself just in case the space station doesn't have chromatic metal or doesn't have copper, say, for something like that. So we'll grab all this, and then once we've grabbed all this, we're going to be able to refine it into chromatic metal, and then we're pretty much done on this planet. We can move on after that. So like I say, try and grab at least 250s worth, because a stack is 250 and we are in permadeath, so we're only going to be able to hold 250 in a stack at a time. So as well as that, I grabbed some cobalt as well. I didn't grab too much, I think I only grabbed a couple of hundred, but I thought it'd be quite handy, because if I seem to remember, cobalt was something that was needed later on. So once we've grabbed a few bits and bobs, we've stocked up on our materials again. You can always grab more carbon, more ferrite dust, and more dihydrogen while you're here. We shall just do this. We'll pop the copper in there, and then we will pop some carbon in here, and then we'll make chromatic metal. So yeah, you've got a minute 52. Might as well tidy your inventory up. Like you can see, we've got 3 lots of these bones. That should be enough. We'll be able to sell that meat as well. We've got a nice bit of condensed carbon and carbon going on. We've got some cobalt later if we need it. Our life support gel and everything's sorted. I want to keep these in here for now because we can sell them. Like I say, we want to keep that other bit for later on. And while we're here, we might as well shoot up some rocks, get some more ferrite dust and that, shoot up some of these trees and get some more carbon. You don't really have to worry too much about anything else. You can pick it up from space stations on the way, but I do find it handy to keep hold of carbon, dihydrogen and ferrite dust. So here we go. This chromatic metal's just about done. So we'll pick this up and take it with us, pop that in our starship. So we'll get rid of our portable refiner. We'll get rid of this solarium, we don't need that. Here we go, that's that gone. And we are just about ready to set off. So we'll just do a quick auto save, just in case. Not like it matters, we're in permadeath, but it's a good habit, I suppose. Here we go, we'll set off and we'll get on with the rest of it. So as you can see, the community has been busy and has been planting loads of bases around this first system. Now, you're going to need to get larval cores because you're going to need to get that as a badge. You're going to have to kill 20 sentinels because you need that as a badge. You're going to have to get a Sentinel Pillar sorted as well and deactivate all the sentinels on a planet as a badge. So stay on this first planet and utilise this. The community's done it for you. Take advantage of these bases, people have put them up. Just read through the list and see what there is. I found this one, look, and it's a quality one, this one, because you can get your eggs and you can get your sentinels done here. Plus you can utilise landing pads as well that people have put down, and taking off and landing on landing pads doesn't cost any launch fuel, so that's going to save you in the initial run of it. So as you can see, we just take out 20 sentinels within this base, and we're going to be going along and picking up those jars that they drop, because that's going to give us loads of salvage data and stuff like that we can use. It's like Sentinel glass, I think they call it, and you can unlock all sorts with that, components that you can then sell on if you want to. You can also get upgrades for nanites and things like that, so you can get your nanite badge that you pinged later on. You're going to pick up some pugmium off these as well, which means you're going to be able to keep that later because you're going to need that for a badge. But there you can see, we've done that. Pugmium Dreams, that's 20 sentinels. Take advantage of the buildings that are around, that's the easiest way to do it at this point. Sort of like entice the sentinels in by sort of like shooting them and getting them to follow you, and then get them to come in the buildings. Once they're in the buildings, they won't attack you, and that's the easiest way to do it. You don't really have to worry about it, other than making sure you've got enough carbon to burn through it at this point. But yeah, once you've done that, we'll just clear up some space here because we're going to collect these larval cores. Now if you enter in like this and use the maze that the guys built around it, you're going to be able to collect these whispering eggs. All the monstrosities that are going to launch out of it aren't going to be able to attack you, so you're safe. So you can happily harvest all the way up to the point where you get the Call of the Void, which is the milestone that you needed. And that got 10 whispering eggs, that's all you need. And there's all at these. Now there's a number of bases like this dotted about. You don't have to come to this one, there's loads of them. Just read the tags, see what they say. And like I say, pick up these and you can use them to get your nanites later. So we'll ping this one, Call of the Void. That's going to give them 2 more bits and bobs. And we'll tidy our inventory up and open these memory shards and see what it has given us. So we've got some launch thrusters, that's nice. We'll pop that in when we get back to our starship. Personal protection, that's good. Yep. Right, cool. What else we got? Another protection, that's good. We'll use that as well. Right, nice one. Right, so we're about ready to ping off and get the next thing done. Right, we'll just grab the last of these. Like I say, they're really good to get. We want the glass out of them. We can get loads of nanites from them. And to be honest, with the upgrades that we're going to get through unlocking things later on, we're not going to need them to advance in it, so we might as well sell them. So right, here we go. Now that we've done that, we've got all our eggs and we've killed our sentinels, we can take off and we can get into the upper atmosphere. Just before we leave this planet again, we're just going to look for something called a Sentinel Pillar. You can actually ping the badge that you get for killing all the Sentinels if you want to, and it'll give you a map to a Sentinel Pillar. But to be honest, you might as well sell it, because somebody's already gone to the trouble to do it somewhere. One of these bases will say something on it. I'll just have to keep checking the markers on it like this. So what we got, that's the one that we've just been to, isn't it? The one with eggs. So here we go, Sentinel fight. Yeah, easy Sentinel fight. What's that? No, not that one. I think it's that one in here. Yeah, that's the one we want to go to. Right, so we've landed, we've legged it through the base, and we've found this little bit here. The guy's gone and put it inside for us, so that's really nice of him. Thank you very much. Keeps us from having to use our protection. So here we go, shut down Sentinel forces, and there we go, that'll activate that. It'll poison the waveforms, and then you just run through the text that's on there, and then that'll do. Boundary node has been exposed, they are vulnerable, and they are all logged off. So that's it, we can come out of here now. You can get the weapon out of it if you want. I think this one was a royal multi-tool actually. But there you go. Banished glass, silence the Sentinel threat. That's that one done. We can ping that one off in a minute. We'll head back to our spaceship. Sort your inventory out. There's a few bits and bobs that you'll have been collecting along the way over these last couple of badges that we've picked up. We can clear them out. One thing you can do if you want to is you can come over here and make a save. This will make you a save that's a hard save, as opposed to when you jump in and out of your ship and do an auto save. We'll do that, and then we'll head back over to our ship. Like I say, you can take this moment to sort your inventory out, clear out anything that you might want to sell at the next space station that we go to, and just sort of like put your technology in order, move it out of your general inventory, put it into your technology, and then that way you've got more space for picking things up. Here we go, look, we can ping these two off as well, so we've done that one. Here we go, we'll take off, and we'll get on with the next bits. We're pretty much done in this system, to be honest. All we really need to do is visit the space station and sell up a bit of the bits that we've been collecting. So we'll do that. And you get the lovely intro music that you get for the first time that you land in the space station. This epic rock song that plays. Absolutely awesome song, I love it. But yeah, we've got quite a bit that we can be getting on with in here. We can nip over to the terminal and we can grab all the bits that we need to sell. We can actually pick up some batteries if we want to. We can pick up some more health if we want to, so that we don't have to keep running around and collecting for it. Basically, take a breather, guys. Just sort yourselves out. Make sure that you've got rid of anything that's lagging you down. Like I say, you're not going to have to hold on to as much as you think you might have to. The way we're going to do the expedition is that we're going to run through it really quickly, and we're not going to worry keeping it. Obviously, if you want to keep it because you're going to play this save afterwards, then by ahead, go ahead and do it. But I'm going to be deleting this save anyway and moving everything over to my legacy, so I'm not too fussed about building this character up. Like I say, there you go. Look, sell these skeletons off. We don't need them anymore. They're going to give us loads of money straight off the bat. Anything else that we can think of? Don't sell your ancestral memories, you're going to need that. You can get rid of that wild milk as well. Once we've tidied up and everything, we can ping these two badges. And there we go, that'll get us some more memory fragments, and it also got us some salvaged glass. We can open the salvaged glass and stuff like that. We can whiz through this, we can sort out all these new bits of technology that we've been given. Move them all over. If sometimes on the salvage glass when you open it you're going to get Sentinel technology, that you can sell that for nanites, you can build that up. Also through the tags that we're going to open this next one as well, any bits of technology that you pick up that you don't want to use or you double up on, just keep to one side for a second, because we're going to be able to take it over there in a minute. We're going to be able to use it to ping the next badge that we're going to get. So we need to sell up because we've got a nanite threshold to hit. So we'll just check through some of these. We're not going to need to keep them all, you see. Only keep the ones that are relevant. You're not going to be driving around in a roamer. You are going to get an exocraft later on, but it's going to be the mech. So if it's a mech one, keep it. If it's anything else, Nautilon, roamer, get rid of it. If it's anything that's not a scatter blaster or isn't something that you can attach to established technology within your exosuit and your gun, that's not going to prove of any benefit either, just get rid of it. At the end of the day, you've got these 4 vendors here. You can come up to any single one of them, They've set the threshold really high for buying technology in this, just for this expedition. It is ridiculously high. So there's no point worrying about buying any of it. All we're trying to do is raise the cash so that we've got enough nanites. And like I say, I think there's only one thing in here that we need to keep, that's the Minotaur engine module. Everything else we can get rid of. This scatter blaster we can get rid of, we've got enough of those already. Humboldt drive, we're not going to use that. So that'll give us loads of those. If we haven't got enough, then just have a little bit of a jog around the station, because you'll find cubes and little discs laying on the tables everywhere. Some of them are going to give you navigation data, but some of them will give you nanites as well. And check these little doors as well, because you'll find little cubby holes like this, look, where you've got like these that'll get nanites out of them. Say that was just enough to tip us over, look. So we've got cluster horde, that's the one we needed to get rid of nanites. So we can ping that badge off, and that's that one done. I think that was like phase 4 or something like that. So there we go. Got some wiring looms that we can sell, got some pugmium silver that we can get rid of, giving us more and more nanites, giving us more and more units, sorry. And there we go. As you can see, we're knocking them down pretty quick, and we haven't even left the first system yet. So we'll crack on, and we'll see if we can get phase 1 finished, and then we'll move on. So here we go. Head out of here, and if you want to, you can pick up a receiver from that guy over there. That's going to give you the receiver that you need to find your abandoned freighter later on. Although you can get it by other means, you can pick it up from the anomaly. I think you get given one as well actually later on. But if you got the nanites in your ear, you might as well grab it. Although don't try and do it until Expedition 5, until Phase 5, sorry, because it's not going to register that you've done it. So right, here we go, we've collected everything that we needed, and we can go back and chat to this guy. He's going to help us out, old Polo. We ask him about the loop. He's going to give us a bit of text about what's going on. I'll skip through it, I don't want to read it, because obviously it's part of the storyline, and I want to leave it for you guys to look at. But it helps you remember, basically, and then that's going to help you be able to collect these materials that you need to collect. You're going to bring them back to him, and then it's going to help you along the way. It's going to help other people along the way. It's going to help unlock the community milestones as we go along. Like I say, I think we've done number 1 and number 2 already. See if we ping these 2 badges, look. So we've observed the cycle and pinged the badge. And because the community's been collecting these materials over the time, once people have finished doing the expedition, they come back onto it and they continue collecting, continue giving to Polo. It's unlocking these things, look, which are the optional extras that we get. And every time we unlock one of those, it makes the technology that we've got better. It means the technology that we're going to find is going to be better. It'll go up from a C to a B, from a B to an A to an S, and then I think it goes from S to finally X. So yeah, the more people do this and the more people play this, the easier it's going to get for people that are jumping on later and later on. Say like we get to the last week or something like that, and guys are jumping on, or people have just bought the game and they're just jumping on them, or they really want to complete the expedition but it's quite hard. Obviously all the work that we're going to be doing now is going to help them out, so I think that's a pretty cool thing that they've done there, to be honest. Like I say, there you go, we've pinged all those badges. That's just helped us out massively. It's also given us loads of these shards as well that we can open, that are going to give us more slots in our multi-tool. What was the other one as well? There's more, isn't there? Yeah, this one's going to give us more slots again in our multi-tool, so that's going to be loads better for filling that out. We can put more pieces in it, not throw so many away. If you were building your character up so that you kept it after you'd finished the expedition, then this is a great way of getting everything that you need straight off the bat. And like I say, this is all community driven. So there you go, we've done all that. We've got Polo's bits and bobs. We need to go get a solar array fitted, which we did. And then we can go and we can get some bits and bobs for him. There's 2 easy ways of doing it, and there's 1 hard way of doing it. The freighter is how you're going to get the dust. But I wouldn't bother with that one, to be honest. Abandoned freighter, it can be quite hard at this stage in the game. The alternative that we've got is that we can land on planets and do 2 different things. So we land on this planet where this crashed freighter marker was, and this will just quickly ping off this badge for crashed freighter before we go and get the bits for Polo. This is a nice easy one. You can do this by the navigation data that you've been collecting. You can always go to a space station and get a distress beacon off the nav guy. and then you can find one, or you can just look already. Someone in the community had very nicely put a base down on here. Like I say, it's a community driven game, especially this expedition I feel more than anything, with the way that we're helping each other out, so you might as well take advantage of it. It's what it's for. So there you go, Fallen Giants is done. That's a nice easy one you can get out of the way. So like I say, once we've done this one, we're going to be collecting our memories off our animals, which we're going to need some pellets for, so plenty of carbon for that. And we're also going to be using the solar ray to collect stuff from mineral deposits. And what we're going to be wanting to do, I'll just ping this one first, just so this one's out of the way. Let's give us some armament memory fragments. That will be quite useful. Let's have a look. What do we get? Scatter blaster. Oh, nice one. We'll pop that in there. And what else we got? Another scatter blaster. Oh, nice one. So we've got a nice powerful scatter blaster. So again, if you don't want to take on the Sentinels, you can wait till you've got some more things like this, and you can take them on when you're a bit harder. But like I say, you've got bases all over the place, so you might as well take advantage of them. Right, so here we go. We'll just pop out of here, and we'll go down to the planet that we need to be on, so that we can do the bits for Polo. Alright, here we go. Right, I popped back to the space station really quickly because I just want to pick up some ion batteries. I wanted to sell off all the stuff that I had, that I'd collected that I didn't need, and I wanted to pick up some life support gel, and I wanted to pick up some oxygen. So I need that for later on. But the bits that I did sell are going to mean that hopefully I'll have pinged the next badge. Plus I needed some magnetised ferrite, and I just wanted to see whether the space station had some, because I'm going to need that to unlock the solar ray. So here we go, I'll pick up a full stack of this. Oh, maybe 50. 50 should do it, shouldn't it? I think it's only 30 that I need. So like I say, the bits that I sold have pinged off taking it with you, which was the one we needed to unlock all the units. Right, so now we've got all that done, we've had a bit of a tidy up. As you can see, I've got rid of everything that I didn't need, freed up some more space, picked up some materials that are going to help me out along the way, tidied myself up. Like I say, you're not really going to have to worry too much about collecting stuff at this stage. We've near enough got everything that we needed. It's just a case of like inventory management and things like that. So we'll ping the badge for units. That'll get all of these, look, which we don't need at all. We're not going to do anything with them. But it does give us some memory fragments for our exocraft, which we might find some things for our Minotaur in there. If we don't find some things for our Minotaur in there, like I say, we can sell those as well. While we're in this station as well, we're going to be starting talking to people, because one of the badges that we're going to ping is going to be getting 3 words of each language. Now for some reason, I don't know if it's because I've completed this expedition already once and this is my second playthrough, some of these people look like I've visited them already. But like I say, all you do is you find 3 of each of the race and you request dialect help off them. Pick any word you want and then they're going to tell you that. And then you just rinse and repeat that for the whole station. There wasn't enough in this station, but I did get a fair whack of them done. I think I've got a Korvax or 2 and a Gek to do. But as you can see, Phase 1's looking like that. Phase 2's, that's the universal language one that we were working on. Phase 3's looking like this. We'll do bounds testing. So here we go. We'll move on to the next part. So I just need to get the solar ray sorted first, actually. So we'll just pop into our multi-tool and we'll just build it. And we've got enough to build it now. We've picked up that magnetised ferrite. We've got the cobalt from earlier, from right at the beginning, that we picked up. You remember remember us mining that out. So we kept some of that because I knew I was going to need it for this. And there you go. Once we've built the solar ray, we nip down to that first planet that we were on, and we just start using it to mine out any resource deposit that we find. Like I say, he only wants 250 Polo, and that'll ping the badge that we're doing for Phase 1. But what I suggest you do is, while you're on this planet, you do 2 lots of liquid sun, 3 lots if you want, 5 even if you want to, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be collecting enough so that we can do 5 of those things for Polo, because that's going to ping a badge that appears in Phase 5. This is the alternate way you can do it, look. You can just gather a load of creatures together like this and you can feed them, and then you can gather ancestral memories. I think I ended up doing 2 lots of solar ray and then putting a little bit of the solar ray material to the side, because I know we're going to need that later on, the liquid sun. We're going to need about 50 of it later on for something. And then added 3 lots of the ancestral memories. So here we go. Once we've done that, we'll just ping it back into space, and we can pop back into the anomaly, and we can give Polo all 5 of them, and then that means that we've done the phase 5 badge and the phase 1 badge. So yes, I do know what you need, mate. So here we go. We'll give him the 250 liquid sun, and that'll ping the badge that we needed for phase 1. There we go. Bounds testing. That's that done. Nice and easy. But while we're here, like I say, we're going to keep popping back into this menu, and we're going to give him the second lot of liquid sun. So that's 2 down, 3 to go. Once again, rinse and repeat. We'll give him 200 ancestral memories this time. Like I say, you can go off and do the freighter as well if you want to. There's loads of rewards as well if in the freighter, loads of tainted metal that you can sell up and get your nanites that way if you wanted. If you didn't want to do the way that we did the nanites. But they are really hard freighters, and I found this was a lot easier. You don't want to die really, you want to avoid it. So there we go, partners in time. That's ping that badge, and that's a phase 5 badge. So once that's done, we can just pop in here, and we can ping bounds testing. That's that done. We'll pick up all the rewards for that. We get our hyperdrive, we get some warp fuel for it, which is what we're going to need because we're very soon going to be leaving this system. And like I say, as you can see, leaving this system, all the badges that we've picked up already, and we haven't even left the first system yet. This is why I reckon this is the quickest way to do it. I know it leans on the fact that there are bases involved, and some people might say that maybe it's cheating. I don't know. I don't think it is personally. I think that, you know, with it being a community game and a community-driven expedition, I think you should take advantage of things like this, and I think this is how you do it. So there we go. We'll ping the second badge off. We'll unlock the rewards for that. We've got some more memory fragments, didn't we? So let's have a look, see what we got. What we got? Yeah, that's what we wanted. Lots more room in our exosuit. That's always what we want. Like I say, if you've been collecting them from space stations, you'd have a few more, like, but you're not going to need them for this expedition. You're only going to need them if you want to continue the save. We're going to get everything we need from here. So right, we've set up the next one that we need. Pop into warp. It's going to redirect us to start with. It's going to want us to go to the anomaly. It's only because it's a new game and it's the first time we've gone into warp like this. But you just use your directional button arrows at the top, and you'll be able to move it back through the Outlaw Station, back onto the expedition road through free roam. So here we go, expedition route. So it's not going to make it in one. We're not going to make it in 2 jumps, but that's good because we want to visit this first one. This first one's an Outlaw Station, and not only is it good to pick up a few more bits and bobs inside, because we're going to be able to speak to the guys inside and we're going to be able to clear some more of that badge off. It's also going to mean that we can pick up some contraband, and we want to be picking up contraband because one of the badges later on is smuggling contraband, and we need to hit a certain amount of units sold. So while we're in here, we'll jump out our spaceship and we will go say hello to the locals. Right, so what we say we needed like 2 Korvax, I think, or 1 more Viking, 2 Korvax, and a couple of Geks. I can't remember how many Geks I got. So here we go. We'll request his help. Thank you very much, mate. We'll keep going around the others. You can also pick up an exosuit thing while you're here if you want to. And now that we've got this much money, I don't think we have to worry too much. We can grab these from now on. Help us out that little bit more. Come over and see this little Get guy here. Now you're going to be able to buy Nip Buds, Moon Ether, and stolen DNA samples. Now I've not got as much money as I thought I had, so I ended up not getting any Nip. Nip are the ones that sell the most. So I picked up the Moon Ether, and I picked up some stolen DNA samples as well. Now I know I'm not going to have enough in this run to completely complete that badge, but I'll be about halfway there, which is good, because then I think 4 or 5 stations from now there is another Outlaw Station, which I will go to in this video to show you guys where it is, just in case you don't have as much money as you need to ping that badge as well. But there we go, we've picked up what we needed, and we can crack on. We'll get to the next one. So here we are in the next station. and this is the last person that I need to speak to get the badge pinged for dialect. So hey, hello to this geck. Oh, that bloody Viking getting in the way. And there we go. That should ping the next badge. There we go, universal language, all done. That's going to give me a universal translator, which I can sell if I want to. I can't remember what the other reward for it is. Let's ping it and find out. Here we go. Oh, I got some memory fragments. Pre-packaged advanced translator unit. You don't need it unless you're playing the game. Sell it if you want to. Right, so I had a quick tidy up then. Just got rid of a few bits that I didn't need and set back out again. So here we go. We'll, from now it starts rolling really quick, to be honest. From now we really do start moving. There's not a lot of things left to do, you see. We've pinged so much in the first one that all we really have to do is visit anchor points and things like that. So that's the anchor point we're going to go to. One of the last things that I want to do just before we do roll through all the anchor points is I want to go to that planet down there, because we have to unlock storm crystals, and this is a really good planet for storm crystals. We'll fly on down there. We'll head to this archive base that somebody's put down. You can just land anywhere you want, but this archive base has obviously been put down because it must be near quite a few storm crystals when something's going on. So here we go. Don't worry too much if they're in a storm when you land. You can just chill out here if you want to. That looks pretty awesome though, doesn't it? The way that comes through the fog. Look at that. That's well cool. You do get these little moments in the game that are absolutely brilliant. But here we go. Anyway, we had a run around in the wild. We were collecting some materials. Again, like I say, ferrite, dust dye, hydrogen, carbon. It's always good to collect those three. Everything else you don't have to worry about, but those three, if you're on a planet's surface, you might as well grab them. That's the storm crystal that we want. You just have to wait for a storm. Right, so here we go. Once the storm comes, you can grab the crystals. Look. There we go. I think we need 10 of them, or was it 5 of them, something like that, I can't remember. But use your visor to pick them up, locate them like that, and then once you've got them all, it was only 5, look. So there we go, calcified echoes, that's that one done. Jump back in our ship, get out of this storm. It was quite dangerous actually, because this planet's got big wind storms that'll pick you up and throw you around, so if you can, jump into your ship and just fly in between the storm crystals if they're too far away, and that way you're not going to have to worry about dying. Use your ship to your advantage. So there we go, that's that one pinged. So now that one is pinged, we can move on, and as you can see, we're literally running out of things to do other than hit anchor points. So, let's move on. Right, here we are at the first anchor point. All the anchor points are going to be these portals. So all we need to do is land really close to it. You can use the communication stations that people have put down as like guides. Once you get down to the planet's surface, just fly really low with your spaceship and just keep your eye out for these little markers, and you'll see them. So it's given us a memory resonator. So we needed to pick up some gold and some chromatic metal for that. We already had some chromatic metal. We needed to pick up some gold. What I did was I flew up into space and just shot at some meteors until I had enough gold, and then I came back down to this planet here, which is the ice planet. Once you're on the ice planet in the same system, you need to hit your memory resonator, and then that's going to ping you some coordinates. We can jump back in our ship, and this is pretty much the rest of the expedition now. What we're going to be doing is finding anchor points. Once we hit the anchor points, we're going to be using the memory resonator to find the coordinates on the planet that we're on. And yeah, we're going to be collecting the memory fragments of what went on, and we're going to be uncovering the mystery of the Leviathan. So pretty much at this point in the game, you've done all the other badges that you need to do, and you should really just be left with the phase badges that are to do with storyline, which is really cool because it means then you can just crack on with the story and have the story all in one big chunk, which I think makes it a little bit easier to follow. And like I say, I'm not going to ruin the story for anyone, but I do think that Hello Games has come up with a good one this time. It's a good expedition. I think there's been a lot of frustration about this expedition with the way that you play it, but I do think that the point of the expedition, with it being community, has helped a lot, because, as I say, I played this, what, a week and a half ago, first time round. This run through just felt so easy compared to the first one. So obviously, you know, it's working. So we chat to this, and we unlock the next memory fragment. And instead of having the yeah, see, that's why I got the ship there, because these guys pop out. Here we go. So we've woken the past, and we've completed Expedition 1. Like I say, keep this ship nice and fueled so that you can land it in when you found this marker, because these guys jump out to terrorise you. You pretty much get something at every single memory point, apart from the last one, I think. So it's good to have somewhere to hide straight away, because we don't want to get into a fight with these guys if you can avoid it. There's no point. So there you go, that's phase 1 done completely. And we can move on to phase 2. We'll just ping this. That's going to give us the posters for the loot, the Leviathan, and the time splice. They are pretty cool posters as well. I've had a look at them in my legacy save. So there we go. That's phase 1 done. And like I say, phase 2, all we've got to do is build a base, head to the anchor point, and to crave the stars. So actually, the planet that we're on, we can ping this, because you have to do it on one of these planets. Every single anchor point is going to be on one of these planets. So we just found somewhere that was a bit quieter, and we bang down our monitor here, and that's going to let us ping a base. So claim the base. It's going to ping you out like that to show you that there's nowhere else that has built a base near you. If you do find yourself in a place where there's lots of bases, try and stay about 1,000 U's away from anybody else, and that way you shouldn't have any problems when you build yours. So it wants you to build 15 base pieces. So as long as you've got the carbon on you, just stick 15 of these wooden frames down like this, and then that'll ping the badge for you. We're not going to be keeping this base, we're going to be getting rid of it, so it doesn't really matter. So there we go, that's them down, that's the anchor. So that's all of phase 2 done now as well, apart from going to the anchor point and getting the memory. We did everything that we needed to do in the first system, bar visiting this planet and putting a base down. So there you go, all the prep in the first system, and we can move on now. We'll delete this base because we don't need it. You can keep it if you want to, you can build yourself a base here if you want to, you can do it however you want to, but I'm not interested in keeping this save like I've said before, so I'll just get rid of that, just in case somebody else wants to pop down and put a base here. It's quite a nice little spot, isn't it? I'd hate to have taken up room that somebody else could have. So here we go, we'll ping that. It's going to give us exocraft stuff. Right, this is important. Before we leave, what we're going to do is we're just going to pop our Minotaur down. You can see it's given us the Nomad Geobay plans, the Nautilon Geobay plans, but it's actually given us a Minotaur Geobay ready to use. So we'll just call this bad boy in. All the way through the last couple of badges, you've been picking up things that you can attach to the Minotaur. All these little things, look. So what we're going to do is, we're going to just go over to our ship where we've got the rest of them stored, and I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes opening up all the technology that I've got for the Minotaur and banging it in the Minotaur to make it really useful, because we're going to be using it on every single one of these planets after this. So right, now I've done that, I'm going to click Rendezvous 2, I'm going to fuel up with some of the launch thruster fuel that we picked up from the space station, and we're going to do some warping, and we're going to head to where we need to be. Like I say, that Minotaur is very important. Get that souped up and get it done, because that Minotaur is going to mean that every single one of these really harsh planets that we're going to have to go to for anchor points, you can jump straight in your Minotaur and not worry about any damage, fall damage, wind damage, anything. You're completely protected within the permadeath mode, so it's a really handy thing to have. So we'll just nip over here, and all the extra things that we've collected that we didn't use for the Minotaur or on us, we're going to sell, and hopefully that should give us just over 5,000. If it does, then just have a look to see if they've got any hyperdrive module upgrades, and grab them if they have and attach them to your ship, because one of the things we want to do is try and save on hyperdrive fuel, and if we can skip a couple of systems at a time when we're warping instead of just doing it one at once, that's going to be great. So what we'll do is we'll move this phase beam. Yeah, we'll move this phase beam just over here for a second. We'll pop that in there, because once they click together, they do more. Like our hyperdrive range has now gone up to 479. So we're going to be able to probably jump 2, maybe 3 stars at a time now, which is going to save loads on fuel and save loads on time as well, to be honest. Like I say, it's optional, that bit. You can do it if you want to. If you should have collected loads of modules that you don't need at this point that you can sell just through pinging those last couple of badges. So you might as well do it if it means getting quicker through the game. So there we go. Once we've done that, we can just pop back into space and we'll just move on. So I know we said that we can now move 2 systems at a time, but just for this one we're going to go to the next one, because the next one, it's really funky, but it's an outlaw system. The reason it's like this is because it's trapped within the ring of a planet. We're getting the ring passed through the space station. But what we want to do is, we've made a little bit more money now just from selling all the bits and bobs that we had. So, we've got enough money on us now to pick up the rest of the contraband that we need, so we can take it to a legit space station, sell it, and then we can get rid of the contraband badge. And that one's done and dusted. If you'd taken time at the beginning to pick up more natural burial sites and pick up more bones, you probably would have got this badge in the first outlaw system. But I just wanted to show those that might not have managed it that there is actually a second outlaw system along the expedition route that you can do that. And just while we're here, we should have enough base materials from picking up on planets where we can just make 5 antimatter housing, and then we should be able to make 5 antimatter. Then we combine those 2 together, and we're going to be able to make 5 more warp cells. Now, like I say, if you have to land on a planet just to get the condensed carbon and the other bits you need by refining to do this, don't worry, just do that at this stage. But you should have collected enough by now from running around. So here we go, we'll do a quick auto save in and out, and then we can move on. We've got the contraband that we needed. We can go to the next space station, we can sell that, and then that's that badge pinged. Right, now we don't have to worry about how many expedition routes we pass through. We've got the outlaw system done now, we don't have to find any more. We'll land in this space station, we'll sell off our contraband. If you want to, you can go and grab your exosuit upgrade if you want. You can check out if you've got a few more nanites than you were expecting to have at this point and you are quite rich. I doubt it very much. Even C grades are like 700 odd quid. But if you've got the money to spare and you want to, you can check out any of the upgrades that they've got, see if you can make your character that little bit faster, your ship that little bit better. But what we're interested in doing is we're interested in selling off our contraband. So here we go. Where is it? There we go, we'll get rid of our Gra, get rid of our Moon Ether, get rid of our Nip Buds, and there we go. That's pinged Hot Pursuit, which is the one that we needed to do. I'm not sure if that's the last one. It might be the last one actually, within all the things that we have to do. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it is. I think that was the last one. Might have been. Should just be storyline missions from now on. So I popped back and did a bit of selling and tied it up, picked up some more ion batteries, picked up some more life support gels and things like that, got some more starship fuel, headed over to the rendezvous point in this system so that I can pick up the anchor point and then ping that badge just like before. Look, land at one of these, we get the anchor point 2, nice and done. We can ping the anchor point 2, that's that done now. We've only got to find the memory, and then that is phase 2 completely finished. See, like I say, all the hard work was at the beginning. Now it's just going to start rolling. You've got enough warp fuel, you've got enough hazard protection, you don't need to upgrade yourself anymore. You can just crack on with it now. If, like I say, anything like that, just ping open so that you've got a bit more space. I think we've got one more, didn't we? Yeah, there we go, look. It provides for you. You don't have to jump through the space stations like I was saying earlier. We've got loads of slots free. Probably got enough slots now to finish the game. So we'll just hit the memory resonator. That's going to ping our coordinates. And then we'll head to the point on this planet where it's asking us to, and we'll pick up the next bit of storyline. I think this is where it starts to get really good actually, the story. This is where it starts to take a turn. So yeah, you guys, you'll really like it. Phase 3 onwards is really cool. So here we go. Right, so we've landed, and what we want to do is every time we land now, we want to get out our exosuit, our exocraft, sorry, the mech, and we're going to jump inside of it. So once we've popped it down, always pick up the pad again. Just go into your delete menu and your build menu. That way you've got the raw materials on you at all times to put one of them down. Now when you're in your Minotaur, obviously you're protected from the elements. You can do massive jumps like this. You can not have to worry about fall damage. You don't have to worry about enemies to an extent. You don't have to worry about sentinels and that. This was cool, look at that. Just stop for a second. I was not expecting that to happen. Look how awesome that is. I love this game. It's just like no one else is going to have that happen to him. It's so cool. But yeah, anyway, what we'll do is we'll just check to see where we're going actually. Got carried away looking at that sandworm. Right, so it's down there. Not far away to go at all. One of the things the Minotaur can do, sorry, before I was interrupted. The Minotaur, if you hit the scanner on the Minotaur, if you've got it, what it'll do is actually, it'll bring up the grave near you as a marker. So it makes it even easier to find graves than it does just running around and using your personal scanner. So once again, we'll bring in the ship, because there's going to be some enemies pop up. I think they're rogue sentinels, these ones. We'll ping this grave. We'll whiz through this story quick so that we can't read it, because like I say, I don't want to ruin it for everybody. So we'll claim the memory, and then that's it. That's the last one to do. 10 crave the stars, to crave the stars, there we go. And that's it, Expedition 7 Iteration 2 done. I think Iteration 3 is completely done, apart from just going and picking up the anchor point and picking up the memory. What we are going to have to do is, though, we're going to have to jump out and kill these sentinels. You should be alright, your scatter blaster's banging at this point, or your equivalent weapon, whatever you got in your run, should be alright at this point. And you should have enough hazard protection about you, so that you should survive it. But like I say, just jump in and out of your ship if it starts getting a bit hairy. Take them out, and then once we've taken them out, it'll ping the 2 badges. Like I say, look, just take it steady. They're not going to alert any other sentinels on the planet as long as you just fire at the ones that are there from that. Just don't attack any other sentinels that are around you, and you should be alright. But there you go, it's pinged those 2 badges anyway. And it's given us the opportunity to pick up some more of these if you want. Get some more of this glass. You might not have pinged the nanite badge yet. You might not have collected as much stuff as I did. So there you go, you can sell those off for nanites. Hopefully that'll ping that badge at this stage for you. But if you'd have followed it like I've been doing it, you should actually be alright by now. So what we're going to do is we're going to head into space, and we're going to head to the next expedition point. So here we go. We've unlocked our hyperdrive quite a bit now. So how many is it away? Is it 4 away? I think we're only going to be able to make 3. Can we do 4? Yeah, no, it's well too far away. That's like 5 away, isn't it? Something like that. Alright, here we go then. We'll just do 3 away for now. That's better than doing it 1 at once. That's a lot of fuel saved, to be honest. So I pinged through anyway, skipped through that part. So I've brought us to the last system that we needed to be. It was 5 jumps, so that wasn't too bad. So there we go. If you want to, you can nip to the space station. You can pick up some more warp fuel if you want. You can build some more warp fuel, should I say. Drop off any bits and bobs that you might have forgot to sell or anything. I was done there, but thought I'd go anyway. And then when we're done, we can head over to the rendezvous point. The anchor point, should I say. I keep calling them rendezvous points. Oh, it's so annoying. You get so used to a name. Oh yeah, this happened while we was going. I just thought I'd stop and show you guys. They don't get to see many of these, to be honest. It's always people trying to flog you stuff in cargo ships. But look at this. I think these are really cool. Nearby life, we think this wavelength will reach you. They are really cool, aren't they? Nothing to do apart from look at. But there you go, a little bit of sentient life in space. Really pretty. Sorry, enough distractions anyway. Right, so we're heading to the anchor point 3. Right, here we go. It's a really nice planet actually, this as well. I was quite taken back when we landed on it. It's a really nice world. It's got that chromey thing going on, hasn't it, where the background's a different colour to when you land. So here we go. Once we head in here, we'll ping rendezvous 3, and then that one's done. Anchor point 3, I did it again. I will get it right at some point, I suppose. So we can ping that badge now. That one's done. We can use our resonator, and we can find out where we need to be going next. And then that is all of phase 3 done, I think. So yeah, let's pop in here. Let's ping our resonator. Well, actually, what we got here first? Got some more slots, haven't we? What's that for? Yeah, we'll have that. Nice. Right, so here we go. Ping the resonator. Jump in the ship. Take off, maybe? At some point. Yeah, launch fuel. It's always launch fuel. I'm so glad that I found some of this at a space station. Pick loads of this. That's going to be the only thing, guys, that I recommend. That's my hottest tip in this entire thing. Pick up as much launch fuel as you can from space stations, because it is so annoying having to bloody recharge it all the time. And you can't buy it with the technology to have the auto charge on it, because it's well too expensive. So here we go. We've approximately landed near where we need to be. We're going to get our exo mech out, and we're going to rinse and repeat like before. Get rid of the base so we've got the materials. Jump in the exo mech. Only down there, look, it's not far away, a couple of 100 U's. Like I say, you hit your scanner, and that's going to ping you a little, there you go, look, hit your scanner, and it brings up everything around you. But what it also does, can you see it just in the bottom left? Brings up the grave site, which is another brilliant reason why you need to get on this exomech as soon as you can. No fall damage, environmental damage. Find the graves a lot easier than having to use the scanner that you've got. It's just like, it makes it so easy. It makes the expedition so easy. At this point, I'd stopped thinking about permadeath. I really had. I was just playing it like I was in normal mode. I wasn't even aware of what I was doing. I was just cracking on. So here we go. We'll land our ship down just before, like I say, just in case we get any unwanted visitors. We'll whiz through what this guy's got to say. No spoilers, thank you, mate. We don't want them. There you go, obsession done. That's it. We'll jump back in our ship a minute, just to get out of this storm, because it's pretty nasty. Might as well save on fuel. So here we go. That's that done. We'll ping that. So we need to get some pugnnium for this memory fragment, and that'll ping the last badge of this phase. Now, there was a Sentinel up there. I swear I saw one. So what we'll do is, we'll just go and attack a Sentinel, and then more than likely use our terrain manipulator to dig a hole in the ground and hide until all the other Sentinel forces have gone away. We don't need a lot of pugnnium, and it's a bit of a foolish thing of me. We did have enough pugnnium, and I went and sold it, so it's my fault that. So there's a lesson for you. Keep hold of your pugnnium. There we go, that's enough pugnnium. We don't need any more. So we'll head back to our ship. We can access that memory now. We can build that fresh memory. What was it? What did it give us? Let's unlock it. Oh, hats. That's quite handy. Thank you very much. We'll take one of those. So that'll ping the next badge. Self-improvement. Summon a new memory. There we go, Expedition 7, Iteration 3 done. All we've got to do now is do Iteration 4. I think we've got 2 left to do in that, and then Expedition 5 opens up as you play it. A lot of them are locked at the moment, and you have to work through that phase in sequence. So there we go, we'll ping the badge for self-improvement. Now we'll ping the badge for Iteration 3. That's given us the Whalestalker cloak, which is awesome. I put it on my character in my main save yesterday. It looks so cool. It's really, really cool. Right, we're nearly there. We really are nearly there. We've only got Anchor Point 4 left to do. And then we've got to pick up the memory that's on the same planet. And then that's the next phase done. So we'll take off from here and we'll jump into warp. And we'll head off and we'll get that done. And then, like I say, Iteration 5, you've got to do the first 2 points and then it unlocks as it goes. So with our hyperdrive done up, we should have enough in us. Yeah. Let's go. Right, here we are. Space station if you want it. Pick up your bits if you want it. Again, buy and sell if you want. Pick up your exosuit upgrades if you want. We're not going to bother. We're nearly finished now. We're literally in the last 20 minutes of it. So we're going to head straight over to Anchor Point 4. and pick up what we need. Here we go. Right, cool little planet this. I love the muted tones, it's really cool, and the fact that the ground lights up like that, look. Really, really cool planet. I love the fact these expeditions, I feel like Hello Games get to showcase some of the really coolest environments that they've come up with. I mean, look at this world, it's proper alien. So cool. Right, so that should ping our badge in a second. There we go, anchor point 4. Only one more. Yes, there is. I bet people are feeling it by this point. It was so hard that first week when we had to take this on with none of the help that we've managed to give each other over the last couple of weeks with unlocking all the community stuff. Yeah, by this point people were feeling it. But there we go, that's unlocked now, so we can go and get our memory. And we can be one step closer to doing it. So we'll just ping our memory resonator. Find our loop pattern, pop some more launch thruster fuel in, and away we go. Where is it? It's over here somewhere. Right, I will see you all over there in a second. It's not too far, we'll jump through the atmosphere. Right, here we go, we got in our mech. We used our scanner on our mech to find it. It's pinged up as this yellow triangle, and we are on it. This is it, this is going to be phase 4 completed, so we'll pop our ship down and we'll go get our memory fragment. Again, I'm going to skip through it as fast as I can just to not ruin the story for anybody that might want to know. I nearly did this whole guide with spoilers for the story, but then I thought to myself, no, there's still a few weeks left on it, and it's too good a story to ruin, to be honest. So there's Monomania, there's the latest one that we need, and there is iteration 4 of Expedition 7 done. Nice and easy. So we'll just bump back in our SIP, which will avoid all the atmosphere that's going on, and we will ping those and we'll see what it gives us. We've got some memory imprints, and some memory fragments for the exocraft and armaments. So again, if you want to, you can do up your exocrafts and that with those. The organic frigate calf plants. There you go. That's pretty cool, actually. Like, it's something that you can unlock for your bases. A little bit like the jellyfish that you get, and the wandering cube, but except it's a really tiny little organic frigate. It looks pretty cool. Right, so here we go. We're done and dusted with phase 4. We're done with this system. We can move on and we can get phase 5 done. We should be able to jump it in one go. It's 1, 2, 3 stars away, I believe. Yeah, there you go, look. So this is it. Once we enter this system, we are going to actually come up against a little fight. So if you haven't already, grab some sodium and stuff like that, just so that you can redo your starship. Yeah, there you go, look, there they are. You need some sodium so that you can keep your starship shields done up, because you're going to have to take on 3 living ships. And they can be a bit hard, these 3. They're a little bit tougher than the rest of the ships that you've been fighting. They do ambush you like that, which they come at you from every angle, so it's hard to sort of target one and get going. So you'll need a bit of your starship shield done up, I reckon. So yeah, keep your sodium on you. But once you start working your way through, once you take that first one out, single off the other 2, take them out. Here's the last one. Job's a good one. I wasn't expecting that, so just be aware of that, because that does happen. I don't know if you have to fight them. I don't know if they follow you down to the planet. I don't know what they do, but it's worth getting rid of them, isn't it? So here we go. We're on the last one, the anchor point 5. We've unlocked that. We've only got the memory fragment to go, and then we'll be unlocking them sequentially as they go throughout, and it'll unlock the last 3 parts of the story. But we're just about to get in our ship, and we're just about to head over and unlock the last memory fragment. That means we're going to have the full tale of what this guy's been up to. And I'll tell you what, it's been a bit of a ride. This guy's an absolute nutter. I don't know if I agree with him, to be honest. I don't want to ruin too much, but there's a little bit of a Captain Ahab vibe about this guy. I don't like him very much. So here we go, we'll head over and we'll pick up our last loop memory fragment. Just shoot into space, make it nice and easy to get there. Right, so as usual, got the mech out, used the scanner, located it. Don't have to worry about bringing your ship in this time. This one doesn't have any enemies or anything like that to fight. Just whiz through this guy's last bit of story, and then we'll pick up a dreadful wailing, which is something we're going to need for the next fragment that we're going to be picking up. So it unlocks that milestone. We'll just jump back in Boyo a second, get out of this rain, and we'll unlock it. So here we go. That's unlocked another chance, which means we're one step closer. We've got 3 fragments left to go. The next one, possibly, arguably, the hardest thing to do in the expedition, especially if you've come this far. It kind of does all ride on this. We are going to be going into space, and we are going to be looking for an abandoned freighter. We have to complete an abandoned freighter. Now, this is a permadeath save, so if we die doing this, then we have to start all the way from the beginning again. In phase 1, iteration 1, we have to get every single badge unlocked. All the progress that we've made so far will be lost. We will still obviously have all the community progress that we've done and things like that. It'll still count what we've done. It'll work towards helping the community, but we will have to start again. Which is quite scary. So here we go. Luckily, I've played this through twice now, and I did notice that the layout of the freighter is exactly the same. It doesn't change at all. So what I'm showing you now is what you're going to come up against. So all we do is we unlock the door, pick up any supplies that we want to, and if you see any of these little heaters, unlock them, turn them on, and they're just going to mean that you're not going to burn through your thermal protection that you're going to need. So make sure you've got plenty of ion batteries before you go in here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to nip into first person camera mode, and I'm going to turn my torch on. And that's going to make it nice and easy to see what we're doing, because it's a lot easier in first person. So, first things first, we need to go to the left, and we need to grab this log here, and that's going to give us a crew manifest, which we're going to need later on. There we go, it's giving us security details of somebody, which we're going to need to access the captain's log later. So as you can see, we've got laser turrets. Get in the way of that and it'll know you're there and it'll start firing at you, so avoid them. Work your way through the doors, unlocking any bits of cargo if you want along the way. That's going to give you all sorts of rare items that you can sell. If you shoot all of this stuff, this slime laying about, it's going to get you the dust that you need, the somnial dust that you need. You can give that to Polo in the anomaly, and that's going to help the community out loads. It is the hardest one to get, which is why a lot of people don't bother going for it. They just go for the animals, or they go for the solar ray stuff that you can get. But like I say, you're going to come up against rooms like this, so try and avoid shooting the turrets, but take out the little drones flying about. And then you're going to come up against these monitors that you're going to need to unlock to get crew manifests and captain's logs and other things like that that are going to guide you through it. Take it steady. It's nice and easy if you take it steady. Take your time. Avoid the traps. Hang out in doorways if you have to. If you accidentally trigger one of those laser guided turret things, just back out into the room you were in before, and then come back through, and then it resets it. But there we go. That's as easy as it is. Should take you about 10 minutes just to run through it if you're careful. So it'll give you a shattered past, and it's unlocked the whale song flute, which we had some pugnium for. I believe we've got the memories in our ship, but we are going to have to just nip down to a planet to grab some liquid sun, because silly bugger here went and sold all his liquid sun by accident. So there's a little lesson. Don't sell all your liquid sun. You're going to need like 25 of it, I think, at the end. So saves you having to just do this, which I suppose is a little bit of a detour, but well, never mind. At this point, we're only 1 badge, 2 badges off finishing, so it doesn't really matter. So we've got our liquid sun, we've got our memories, and we've got our pugnium. So we can go ahead and make our whale song flute. And we can head out into space, and we can start calling our Leviathan. So here we go. We'll just get out, and we'll unlock the badge first, I think. Yeah. Here we go. Shattered past, all done and dusted. There we go. Not why it did ping first time. It's been a bit difficult, that. There we go. We've got the whale song flute plans, cargo bulkhead. And we can use that whale song flute. We've got all the ingredients. And it'll call our Leviathan. And we'll move on to the very last badge, I think. There is a little scuffle happening, I think, to my right. There's a freighter battle going on. I think I'm going to get out of the way of that. I really don't fancy taking on pirates. I'm far too busy, lads. I'm really sorry. You're going to have to fend for yourselves. I've got a Leviathan to hunt down. More important things to do. So here we go. We'll build our whale song flute. And we will activate it. So building it makes the siren. And that's that. And then the last milestone that we're going to have to collect is called Leviathan. And yeah, then we're done. We are actually done. That's everything that we need to do. We'll have collected all phases. We'll have collected all badges. We'll just have to ping the last badge for phase 5, which is the complete one. And then we'll have to collect the big one for when we've finished all the end of phase badges. So here we go. Awesome little music to play about by the sounds of it. Just activate our relay. Let's see where it is. There it is. You can see it just up in the distance. And warp over to it. I don't think you have to warp over to it actually. I think I made the mistake of warping over to it when I shouldn't have. And I overshot it. So luckily I managed to spin it round. You can just fly up to it normally. It only takes like 30 seconds to fly up to. But there it is. Look at that. Look how awesome that is. That's absolutely amazing. That is going to be our new frigate, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to come out with us every time we call our freighter in. That's going to be there. I'm trying to just flick through this really quickly because there's a couple of options that you have to make just to decide what you're ready to do. Essentially, it's asking you whether or not you're ready to end the loop. I won't go into the details of what it's actually saying, but you have to end the loop one last time by the looks of it. So here we go. It says it's ready to. Right, so we're going to submit to the Leviathan. And that ends the loop for the very last time. Atoned for their sins. So there you go. 2 loop resets. We had one at the beginning, one at the end. Death is a new beginning. It's the whole point of the expedition. So we'll just load in the save again, just like we did at the beginning, and then we'll get our rewards. Right, here we go. We've loaded in onto the final planet. Someone's popped a little base down already. But as you can see, it's a nice little planet this. Might have a little explore before I turn it off. Might get some coordinates actually. I might keep the glyphs for this one. See if we might visit in normal mode actually. That'd be pretty cool to do. But there you go. That's Leviathan done. It's the very last badge that we needed to ping. And then that's phase 7 done. Phase 5 of Expedition 7, sorry. It's been a long phase, guys. I am knackered. But yeah, I ran it through all in one go. There you go. Absolutely complete. 100%. Easiest, most deliberate way of doing it, I think. So we'll just ping these last 2 badges. I think I've got to delete some stuff. Yeah, we'll just whiz through all of this. We're not keeping any of it. We're not worried about any of it. Look at that, getting rid of liquid sun at this stage, getting rid of memory fragments. I'd have cried for those at the beginning of this. Getting rid of that, look at that. Madness. But here we go. It's more important we ping these badges. And there we go, Leviathan done. The very last badge done. So now we could unlock phase 5 completely. And there you go. And then once we've done that, we've got all of the end of phase badges completed. We can nip into the very last page and we can unlock the Leviathan frigate, which is going to be joining us in our list of frigates that we've got. Here we go. Click on that. There she is. Absolute beauty. I'm going to go over to my legacy save and get that unlocked and have a right good look at it. I think that's awesome. But there you go, guys. That's been Expedition 7 Leviathan. A very interesting one, a very unique gameplay style. I really did enjoy it. It was a bit daunting to start with, and I think it's divided a lot of people within the way that it's been done. But I have to say, I think it was a bloody good one. and also good to see so much story coming through as well. But thank you very much, guys. It's been awesome doing it again once for you all. I hope this has really helped. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you all again soon. Goodbye. Goodbye. Hi guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to show us some support, please consider hitting the like and the subscribe button, and then you can keep up to date with what's going on the channel in the future. If you want, you can hit up the button and become a member as well. We also have links to our Discord and our Patreon and a merch stall down below in the description if you want to check that out. But thank you all very much for the support so far. You keep watching them, we'll keep making them. Goodbye.